anybody know what the shortcut key is to unmute and mute in Skype? Is there one?
Yes, you can set one up.
Good afternoon. Good evening.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How are all of you doing while Shub sets up his mute button?
Great timing there, Tal. Thank
Oh
you.
yeah, I thought it was perfect. What better time to come in than the old man's inability to use modern technology?
Indeed.
I make fun of DNL about that. We were trying to set up Skype for him yesterday, and it probably took him about 45 minutes to go through. I couldn't even tell you why it could have possibly taken that long. But every time something would pop, he was like, "Why the hell does it want to know my cell phone number?" And da, 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 and all sorts of stuff. It's funny. So, welcome everyone. Today is Friday, October 10th, 2014. We're continuing with episode number 3 of Shadowhand, our Numenera campaign, with our wonderful and lovely cast of characters. Let's go ahead and introduce everyone, starting with Eve.
That would be me. So I'm Eve. I am playing Nearest Kasian, who is a nano. I believe I'm a clever nano who wields power with precision. I've done that without looking at my character sheet, so I think I got it.
He's not sure. He might be just a mutant or something, even.
Could be, yeah, could be.
Shub?
Hey, I'm Shub, at Shub on Twitter and to Shub on Twitch. And I'm playing Tuck, who is a tongue-tied glaive who fuses flesh and steel.
Awesome. And Soul?
Hi, I'm Salanthia. I'm playing Skylar, who is an intelligent jack that explores dark places.
Ooh, and Mr. Yuki.
Hi, I'm Michael Shirayuki, or Yuki. I'm playing Shiro, the stealthy jack who wears a sheen of ice.
And suddenly the name Shiro makes all the sense.
Really?
Couldn't come up with anything clever, huh?
Well, you didn't realize it until just now.
Or did I? I know more and less than what you think.
I like to think you know best.
And more. Well, did anyone this past weekend do anything exciting? Shub, how'd your D&D thing go? I tuned in for a little bit there.
Yeah, I think it went well. You tuned in at the time where with the most boring piece, I think, when they got back to town and was resupplying and re-equipping and all that kind of fun stuff. But yeah, it went great. They're going to the ruins of Thunder Tree, and so I think we only have about maybe 3 or 4 sessions left before they complete that campaign. So, but yeah, it went well.
Are you gonna kill him at the end?
I might. That's the twist. So we can't share that.
It's not a twist anymore now that they know.
No, I know.
Anyone else do anything exciting?
Now you can't.
Anyone else do anything exciting? Anything fun? No?
We always do exciting things and fun things.
I don't think you do. Everyone else is shaking their head no. And okay, well, what'd you do? What was so fun and exciting about your week?
Well, I helped my brother get a cell phone, which is awesome. He finally has a brand new cell phone. I got to chit-chat with my nieces, which is a big deal because they're both off in school. So in the middle of nowhere. I've gone out hiking. I've gone out jogging. Do you want to know like the entirety
Let's
of my
go.
week? 'Cause I can go on.
What do you have? What do
Okay.
you have for us?
Okay. So I went on a 2-hour trip. I visited some horses. We did some horseback riding. Well, more like watching and trying not to fall off of a horse. I did a lot of dog walking. Plus, I completed 2 contracts. And that's actually pretty significant.
There you go. Now you're rich. When are you going to donate your Xbox One to me?
Sure. I don't have an Xbox One.
That's why you buy one and then donate it to me.
Well, that wouldn't make any sense.
You just
Why would I
completed
do
2
that?
contracts and you just said it's significant. Man, this guy. Soul, did you do anything exciting?
Not yet. We got tickets to go to a haunted house nearby next weekend.
Haunted houses
Not terrible.
haunted houses are pretty fun. I once dated a girl who told me not to bring her through a haunted house, and
So you totally
of course
did.
I brought her through a haunted house. It's probably the worst decision I've ever made in my life. It's funny because I remember the guy coming up to me and he's sitting there screaming in our face, and of course she's flipping the heck out. And I'm sitting there like, excuse me, hold on, sir, hold on. And he's sitting there screaming. He's like, what? And he's like, oh, where's the exit at? And he had to guide us through it. It was pretty funny. It's funny when you look back on it. I felt bad at the time, but it was pretty hilarious. Haunted houses are fun.
Oh, I love them. I'm such a chicken, but they're so much fun.
We have one down here. She probably knows it. The meat packing factory. They always advertise on the radio all the time. It's supposed to be
it's a pretty popular one. Yeah.
I've never been to it, but it's like 16 stories or something ridiculous. I don't know.
Wow.
Something scary. I'm sure you have scary ones up there where you are. I'm sure there's a
The one I'm going to, Yuki's probably heard of. Headless Horseman, Hayrides and Haunted Houses. That's like the biggest one in the area, aside from like one other.
Aside from you have 2 haunted houses. It's good to know.
Well, the popular ones. There's always the little piddly ones everywhere, but.
Mm-hmm. And Yuki, did you do anything exciting? You just sit in front of your computer all week?
No, I had some midterms. Hopefully passed those amazingly. Other than that, yeah, I just sat on my computer all week.
What are you studying?
Computer science.
Oh, so he's programming stuff. That sounds like fun.
Fun.
Takes a special person. That's one of those things everyone wants to do, but takes that special mind. I can tell you have that special mind. I can just tell.
Definitely.
Hey, well, that's what I do as a career. So I've been doing it for 20 some odd years. So yeah, it's a good career.
There you
Stick
go.
with it.
He doesn't mean that.
No, I don't want you to come and take my job. So no.
The younger
Drop
kids
out.
take all the older people's jobs or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's not in India.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. All right, well, I guess that's what we all did the last week. I guess I'm always broadcasting what I'm doing, so that's not of any interest to anyone. But as far as all of you, your characters have been spending a night in a cave, pretty much. If we go back to last week's session, then you remember you got to the town of Glavis, the capital of the Ansuan Empire. If I pull it up on the map here, all of you were kind of hanging out there for a little bit. Then you delivered your message. Tuck finally completed his journey that he was so excited about. And as the message was being decoded, all of you got sent on a mission to find out what happened to this knight. And when you got there, he was dead, and there was some crazy lady there that you really didn't want to deal with. So you went ahead and stole the knight's ring, his signet ring, and brought it back. The king accused you of murder, and you guys ran. Of course, all this time Shiro was spending some time in jail or running away or something like that.
And then rescuing us.
And then rescuing you. All that time ended up, the high point of Shiro's night was rescuing the team from the clutches of the evil king. But anyway, or I guess not really evil, but evil to you guys now that he's trying to kill you. But at the end, you guys ran off, went back to the cave that you found on our first session, and or in that same little valley that we found in the first session, and that's where you are. We can go ahead and say we'll pick it up that very same night. It's late, it's dark outside. What do y'all want to do?
Rest, maybe.
Everyone just wants to take a rest.
Yep,
I'd
I would
like
like
to
Get my points
roll my
back up.
recoveries. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's all roll recoveries, I think.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a 10-hour, and you can roll and reset your recoveries.
Sorry, Shiro.
Hey, at least you get 2 points back.
Do we roll all of them up to 10 hours? And including
No,
10 hours,
you'll
or
roll.
Just the 10 hour
You'll just roll the 10-hour.
Can I roll my 10-minute one as well?
Well, no. The way it's generally supposed to work is you go in order. So 1 action, 10-minute. Except in the case for 10 hours, because you don't just wake up and for 6 seconds and you wake up for 10 minutes and you wake up for an hour. So unless you're old and senile and you can't hold it in, whenever you sleep, it's just going to be the 10-hour.
Okay, but if we haven't used up the other ones prior to that
it's still gonna be the 10 hour.
So
There's
it's still
not,
the 10 hour and then
yeah,
resets.
there's not really a justification in the rule book for it. But I want to encourage you guys to use those throughout the day rather than just saving them all for night. So I'm gonna say that at night you only get 10 hour.
Okay.
Or whenever you sleep. You might turn into night dwellers and sleep during the day. So you sleep throughout the night. As far as you know, no one has come perusing by your cave. When you first start sleeping, you kind of are under the assumption that no one really goes near this area because of rumors and stuff like that. Now there's tentacles and stuff outside just kind of flapping around because of the iron wind and things like that. But for whatever reason, no one comes by at night, and you wake up the next morning bright and early, nice and refreshed, however many hit points you have. Yep, flex skill is survival. Awesome. And Sol, do you want to change your flex skill?
Yeah. I kind of wanted to do like a hunting thing, so I feel like we're gonna need food.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to do that.
Yeah, that could be also survival or hunting or something like that.
If it counts, I'll do survival.
Yeah, we can do survival. That's more than okay. All right. So what do y'all want to do? You have that. You can go back, obviously, to Thamor if that's something you want to do. Report Tuck's rousing success to the king. You obviously have that leaf that turns cold whenever you point. Not really to the south anymore, but more to the east at this point. And you obviously have your long journey. I can actually bring you guys to the big map so you can kind of decide a little better where you want to go. And Ansuin's near the bottom there. In order to get to Thamor, wherever you guys are originally from, obviously you'd have to travel through the kingdom of Malavik. Iskabal, maybe, if you want to head in that direction. You could go through Iskabal and go through Draeolis as well. But that's really up to you. I'm not saying you're gonna get maybe to Malavik because it's a pretty long distance to get to either of these areas. But
where are we exactly?
You are probably more along this area.
Did I get it right?
Yeah, my mouse isn't pinging, I guess, for some reason. But you're where that X is. So what would you all like to do?
So I would like to go back to Thamor, which I'm guessing that the capital of Thamor is Ospar.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to go back and report King Assour.
It would be King Mantir, but if you want to call him Assour, that's fine.
I do want to keep calling him Assour. Especially the way he treated us.
Well, here, we'll switch his name since y'all like that better. He'll be Mantir Assour, so you can call him King Assour.
It'll work. So, yeah, I need to warn King Hova that King Assour is thinking about, or it sounded like to me that he was thinking about invading Thamor. So, however, I believe that as easily as we duped their guards, I think that I could go back to Hova and convince him that Hova needs to go and invade Ansuin and take over.
I don't think Thamor could really deal with a war, especially in between two countries that are kind of far apart.
Yeah, from what you all know, since all of you are from Thamor, like I was telling you in the first session, Thamor is a lot of a joke country. You probably saw those reactions when you were going through Glavis. It's one of those things where, and I don't know how much y'all remember from the first session, but Thamor was founded by a king who was very much a war person, but didn't really know how to run a country. So Thamor is more of a kind of a war country. Its borders are well protected. People have tried to conquer Thamor many times. But the guy was so good, the king was so good at defending his own country that no one is ever able to penetrate its borders, and everyone's kind of given up at this point. It's just kind of there. No one really cares about it, but its people aren't really in the best of spirits or in the best of health and stuff like that. But if you want to convince Holva to start a war, that might be something possible if Tuck wants to go that direction.
I do want to go that direction.
Okay. What does the rest of the party want to do? Do all of you want to kind of start making your way back towards Thamor?
Yeah, I think so. Sorry.
No, I just want to get out of Answin. We have the king mad at us right now. I really don't want to stay.
Okay. And what does Shiro want to do?
I'm interested. Is that Gefren? Is that a city, or what is that?
Githaren. Oh, it's a little square. I don't know. I can look it up while y'all figure stuff out. It looks like it's like a fort of some kind.
It's actually in the land. There's actually just a big square.
The square of
itself.
Githran. Let's see, Gtharen. That square.
That sounds good. I like that.
Let's go there.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, that's the place.
It's interesting if you guys want to head over there.
Okay, well, the first thing I think
I'll tell you this: it's not a city of any kind. So
Not
Very
a city.
Intriguing.
intriguing.
it's not a city.
Can we get supplies there?
Well, we can get supplies in Ishlav.
I don't trust going anywhere in this territory anymore.
You've heard. If all of you are looking at the map, Tuck has a map of the kind of the 9 kingdoms that a fairly up to date map of sorts. Pretty much exactly what you're looking at here. All of you've heard of the Githaren crystal, but none of you really know what it is. You just know it's highly sought after, and it's
I'm intrigued.
the rumors are that it's guarded by a wizard or a demon of some kind.
Let's go.
I'm good to go there, but we should get ourselves mounts of some kind, because I don't want to walk another 30-some days back.
So, yeah, I mean that would require a stop at Ishlav though, because I think that's the closest.
Are there any like smaller villages along the way, or is it just the main towns?
Ishlav would be the biggest town on the way to Githaren if you want to do that. You'll probably stumble across villages and stuff like that.
Well, doesn't Skylar have a map of the local area between Glavis and Ishlav, like this region, like a detailed map?
Southern area. When we were going to go south with the leaves, and so not north. We got the southern part.
Yeah, she's got a kind of a map of Ishlav in the upper right of the map, and then kind of a little area of like maybe 50 miles or something like that.
Are there any villages or...
Miles is an American thing, so you'll just have to deal.
We'll deal with it. But are there any small villages that are on that map, or anything of interest that's like close to where we currently are?
Yeah, on that map that you see a small village by the name of Index.
And how far away is Index from where we are currently, like roughly?
They must have a lot of information at Index.
Maybe, you don't know. The Index would probably be, I'd say probably, let me use my fingers here. Probably about 100 miles or so from you. You got to understand that that's over by Ishlav. Ishlav is a good few hundred miles away from you.
Really? We covered that distance in 2.5 days?
Yeah, some weird things happened, time dilation,
We
and
were running.
all sorts of weird stuff happened. You met with the guy, and maybe he altered your minds.
Maybe some holes or two.
We travel 100 miles a day. I like it.
You can travel 30 miles a day as a team. From here on out. Tuck really wanted to get the message to this guy, and he was just booking it, running.
That sounds like me.
Shiro fell over a few times on the way.
Are there any roads? Something we haven't really talked about, but are there roads that are connecting these villages and towns and stuff?
Yeah, there definitely is. Mm-hmm.
Are they travel? Like, are there a lot of travelers on them? As we were journeying here, did we notice a lot of travelers? Although we ignored them, but
yeah, there were travelers on the road from Glavis to Ishlav, but there were every now and then you'd see a road that kind of branched off. But the road from Glavis to Ishlav connects. Pretty much every city on this map connects in some way. So you can just assume that. And there's always a branching path of some kind.
Okay, well, I suggest that we get ourselves some kind of mount. And if you guys don't want to go to Ishlaf and you consider yourselves enemies of the state or this region, we could just find some mounts on the road from some passerbys.
Are you talking about just taking somebody's horses from them?
Yes, and their supplies.
Borrowing without asking?
No, we are striking the first attacks against this nation for our sovereign.
I agree with
this is for you.
You should have been a politician. I've told you this so many times, Nearest. You would have been a better politician.
Are you just going to shove someone off their horse and yell "For Thamor" and just ride off in the distance?
We could do something very similar to that, yeah.
Or we could just say we're on the king's business and take their stuff without them knowing which king.
I'm for that because, it's going to take us days to get anywhere. And we have, 3 days worth of supplies? We can do some hunting, I suppose. I don't know how any of that works. But if we can get some mounts, we can go double the distance every day. And we can get back to Thamor faster.
I think maybe we could go to a smaller village outside of Ishlav. By then, news probably wouldn't have made it to them about our treachery, and maybe there'll be supplies and some horses or mounts there.
Right, but then we need money, right? We need more shin.
There's bound to be traders in the town.
What do we have to trade?
I don't know.
So we need something to trade.
We'll have food. We'll hunt. We'll get extra food, and we'll do that.
We could take over a merchant caravan, and then we could trade that.
Why does everything got to be so? It's always so conflict.
Suddenly, it dawns on I already forgot Soul's name. It dawns on Skylar that the reason why Thamor might have such a poor reputation among the rest of the kingdoms.
We do stuff like this.
Well, Skylar, it's easy. I mean, we have the ability. It's there. They are our enemies now. You called them our enemies. So let's make use of it. Why spend time when we don't have to? We can just grab the stuff and go.
I'm okay with that as long as we don't announce where we're from, because it's bad. So far, word travels relatively slowly, and I don't want it to catch up to whatever village and say, "Yo, people from Thamor are stealing our stuff," and then
clearly we're from Glavis.
Yeah, I mean, we could say that we requisition these mounts on behalf of King Asauer.
Or the other king, right?
No.
Let's be representation from... No, Tuck, you need to be from Aslauer. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's do it then.
I think that's the only way.
I want to steal some horses.
See, there you go.
Or the Ninth World equivalent of a horse.
a A
And
large
maybe if
bird
they have
that
a
we can
boat,
ride on.
we can take their boat.
Horses in this world, for some reason, but unbeknownst to you, look like boats with legs. No. But it's completely normal to all of you. All right. Well, if that's what y'all want to do, which just tell me which direction you want to head out, and you guys are on the way.
Well, I think we want to make our way northish, right? Because we also want to visit Gatherin.
Yes.
I concur.
And it's on the way, Tuck.
Sure.
On the way enough. Slight detour, Tuck. Never know what we might find there, though.
It's on the way, and I've heard of this crystal as well, and I think it would be good for a glaive to investigate this crystal.
Okay. Well, you start making your journey.
Can we hunt along the way so we can get extra food if there's any animals around?
Yeah, definitely. Every day you can make a hunting roll. This is kind of the area you're going through is kind of a plain / wooded area, depending on which direction you look. So finding game isn't terribly difficult. So for every day you guys go, those of you who have skill in survival, I'll let you roll. And that's a difficulty level of 3 to find game. If you don't have skill in survival, if you're not trained, you don't really know anything about hunting, so I will not allow you to make that roll. So for your
try,
yeah, you could try. It'll be a difficulty level of 10. So if you guys want to make a hunting roll, go ahead and do that for the first day.
And it would be 3 no matter what, even if we had the survival skill.
Yeah, the
Right.
survival skill's allowing you to hunt.
Okay.
So, Tal, what kind of game can we expect to actually find in the world of Numenera?
Well, you have all sorts of crazy
Nothing
things.
yet.
Nothing. Did both of you fail?
yeah.
Well, you don't really find anything yet.
How
But
about travelers?
you'll
You said the roads were kind of busy.
yeah, you'll run into some travelers along the way. You kind of find these kind of these really meaty looking 4-legged creatures that have kind of one horn that comes out of their head, but it kind of curves around. It's not a unicorn, as I see Eve so excited. But they're very fat. They're very slow, and they have kind of green fur. And that's kind of what y'all were looking for. But despite how slow and fat they are, apparently you guys are slower for whatever reason, and you're not able to catch any. You do come across a few people on the way. If you're looking for someone where you could take like a mount or a wagon or something like that, there is one guy kind of trotting along the path. He's kind of walking along the path with his horse in tow behind him, not riding him. And it's horses in this area. They're kind of. I have an image in my mind. They're gray. They don't have fur. They have thick, scaly skin. But they're not the smartest of creatures. They're about the same size as a horse. Whereas a horse kind of has intuition and stuff like that. From what you guys know of these creatures, if you tell it to go into a river, it's going to go into a river and drown. So they're not the brightest of creatures. And these things, they are called Garthoks, I want to call them. That sounds familiar, like something it would be, but we're going to call them Garthoks. Garthok. And these are kind of the renowned mounts, the kind of standard mounts around the Ninth World, in the Nine Kingdoms, anyways. But they're not as common as you'd think, because, like I said, they're not smart. So a lot of them die when they try to drink, and they drink too long and they drown themselves. They're really weird creatures, but they're great to sit on and steer. You don't have to break them in. So you do find one guy that's kind of guiding one of these Garthoks along with him. And he's wearing some type of weird visor along his eyes and has a cloak as well. If you want to stop him.
Is he coming towards us, or is he traveling the same direction as us?
He's going the opposite way. You assume he's going from Ishlav to Glavis.
I think he's our first acquisition.
Okay, nearest, you're up. Go
I
do
don't know.
that thing you do.
I was thinking Tuck should just grab him.
It's just one though. We're gonna try. We're gonna get all of our attention on
Hold on.
ourselves for
This
one.
guy's walking towards y'all. Do you all just stop in the middle of the road and start talking as a group with this guy walking?
We're going to debate about him very loudly whether or not we're going to actually attack him.
I don't think we should
Hopefully
very
it scares
loudly.
him enough.
I'd like to keep walking while they stop,
Yeah.
just to get into a tactical flank where I can attack them from behind.
Okay.
Nearest, are you going to talk to him, or do you just want, like, brute force?
Brute force him.
Oh, brother. All right, so as we're getting closer, of
Tuck
course,
is
he's kind of
rubbing off
hearing
on
us.
you.
And this guy obviously hears Nearest tell Tuck brute force. And so Tuck just basically kind of clotheslines him.
Okay. All right. Well, you go ahead and clothesline him, and go ahead and make a roll on that.
Oh, and while I clotheslining him, of course, I'm saying, by the power of King Assauer, we requisition your animal thing.
Garthing.
You could have just asked him for instead of clotheslining him.
Okay. Well, go ahead and make a roll. Go ahead and roll a d20. If you guys actually click on the little dice icon, you should be able to just bring up a window that has a d20 on there, and you just click roll on there, and that'll probably be the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, I forgot that you weren't giving us the difficulties ahead of time.
Not for enemies.
What the? Oh, handy. Look at that.
Okay. Well, you he kind of looks at you as you kind of run up to him, and you just clothesline him and knock him on the ground. Doing are you using your fists as a medium or a light weapon?
Yeah, just as a medium weapon.
Okay.
I want him out. Knock him out.
You want to knock him out? So
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if this is one of those things like D&D where you have to where I have to tell you beforehand I want to knock him out, but
it's going to depend on who lands the final blow and how.
okay.
I'll kind of make those assumptions. So if you're swinging at him with a sword, you're not going to knock him out, probably. Sure. All right. So you do that does 4 damage to him, and it kind of knocks him on the floor. He's just laying on the flat of his back now.
Let's go.
Okay,
Take it.
one
Let's
attack.
go. Run. Hurry.
And so
attacking.
we're gonna go ahead and move into initiative phase. So everyone roll a d20 for your speed. doing good on those rolls today, Shiro.
She was setting the standard for the day.
So as soon as Shiro hears "get him," he swings around quickly to make his attack, and swings around a little too fast and ends up twirling and falling on the floor. He's not the best on his feet, but this time you are face up rather than face down. All right, so
That's getting better. You're getting better, Yuki. Just, work on staying on your feet.
So we'll go ahead and have Nearest go first.
I am going to Mind Blast him, and I want to use effort for the damage, because he's on the ground, right?
Yep, so it'll be reduced by 1 difficulty.
Okay, so I'm going to use effort on the damage.
Okay. All right, so you get a 13, which definitely connects with them. You're doing the physical one, right?
No, mind damage.
Mind damage. So what would that be total?
It'll be 5.
5? All right. All right, so he just, as he's laying on the ground, he just kind of starts clutching his head, and blood starts kind of coming out of his nose a little bit. But he's visibly like wiggling on the ground at this point. So who do you want to go next?
Tuck.
Okay, so I remind Nearest, we just want to knock him out.
Kill him. Get him.
And
What is wrong with you? To kill this innocent guy.
He's not innocent.
Okay.
He's the enemy.
So he's laying on the ground, right? So he's prone and he's face up or whatever. Maybe he's kind of sitting up. So I actually kneel down behind him and get him in kind of a chokehold, and try to knock him out by holding, his breath. Right.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for your might there.
Okay. And I'm going to apply effort.
Okay. Nice. You guys are, some of you are doing really great on your rolls today. So as you kind of grab him, he kind of reaches up and he starts clutching. He's trying to claw behind him to get you. But after a minute or so of doing this, he just stops and kind of crumples in front of you.
Okay, good. So he's passed out. Let's leave him alone. Leave him be. Some other travelers will come by and heal him. And let's go. Let's take his stuff and go.
Just kill him, because he'll pass the word on who we are. He'll share what we look like.
It
It's not
doesn't
worth
matter. We're already on the run. The King's Guards are already after us. They already know what we look like.
Okay, fine. Just
Or maybe
grab the stuff
not,
and go.
because I don't know.
Shiro, kill him. But let's get his stuff. I'm going to examine him, see if he has anything cool, like in his gear, anything that might consider to be like a cipher or something special, and gather up the mount.
Yeah, he's got 50 shins on him. And the everything else is kind of, he's got some rations and stuff. If you guys want to take it from him, he's got maybe 5 days worth of rations that you can split between all of you. And his visor in particular is you're attracted to it. You want his visor, so you can go ahead and take that as well if you want. And if you want to figure out what it is, then you'll just roll 2 on there for intellect. Awesome. So you're kind of examining this thing. Do you want to examine it now? It takes about an hour or so, because this will be an
I'm
artifact.
going to examine it as we walk away from him.
Okay.
I'm going to be the last one to leave him. So as everybody else goes, I'm going to stab him with my metal blade and just slit his throat.
Okay. Well, if everyone else is done, all of you got the Garthok, and let me write that down again.
So how many people can ride a Garthok at once?
1, maybe 2 if they're light.
That's why I said let's wait for a guy that's got 4.
Well, there'll be 4 people, so now we only need 3 more.
What you notice too is when you kind of kill this Garthok's master, it makes absolutely no movement against you at all.
Like, yeah, whatever. So how are we dividing the shins or what?
Yeah, we'll divide them on the road, for sure.
Okay. So do y'all want to go ahead and take off? Obviously Nearest is going to kill this guy. All right. And do you make any effort to like hide the body, or you just want to keep it in the middle of the road?
No, we're just going to leave it.
Okay.
Just
Nah,
body
I'm gonna put it under a tree or something. I don't want to leave it in the middle of the road. I don't, because then people are gonna know sooner. I don't want to make it obvious that people are killing people on the road.
Okay.
I will assist Skylar in dragging it off the road then.
Well, there's not really any trees, but you kind of find a ditch somewhere that you kind of
Works.
cover it up in tall grass.
Yeah. Let's do that.
The longer we hang around here, the easier it is going to be for us to get caught, because there's other people walking along this.
Okay, you guys decided to attack this innocent guy. We're at least gonna cover up what we did.
I just wanted to knock him out.
Well, since
All right, we'll cover him up and go.
yeah, since he's already dead, apparently, there's like a trail of blood as you drug him along.
Kick dirt over it.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay, let's get moving.
All right.
We'll continue along our merry way.
Well, as you're going along and you analyze the artifact that you've gotten, when you put it on, it's really cool because you see two images. You see you turn it on, you see Tuck, what Tuck's doing, and you see kind of what Tuck is going to do, maybe a second or two in the future. So I'm not sure if your character believes in fate or destiny or whatnot, but it's whether you want to believe what this is, we'll do that. This is going to have a depletion roll of 1 in 10 because it's a pretty powerful artifact. All of you get 2 experience points for finding the artifact, and because I didn't give y'all any artifacts or ciphers last time, so I give you one a little bit early. And this will basically reduce your speed defense difficulty by 1 step. So you can kind of see how you're about to be attacked. It's not going to help you on the offensive, but you'll definitely be able to see how this guy's going to react to your attack, or how this guy's going to attack you or something.
Very cool. Okay. I'm just trying to think if I want to keep it or give it to somebody else. We'll figure that as we walk.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you keep on walking. Nothing in particular happens. You still come across a few travelers. None of them really have Garthox or anything like that. I guess my question to you is: do you want to ambush every traveler you come across, or
Probably not for the best.
The ones who look like they're easy targets and they have Garthox. We need 3 more.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, when you said with the Garthox, fine. We've already started, but not just like random people.
Oh yeah, no, not random people, but like Garthok
and
people or mad people.
Garthox are pretty big creatures as well. They're definitely bigger than a horse would be. So they take 2 rations, 2 days worth of rations.
Can they graze?
Yeah, sure. If you find some grass that it likes. All right. So you go the rest of the day, about 30 miles or so, and don't really come across anything else. You kind of stop in front of a wooded type of area that might make a nice camp during the night. And it's definitely getting dark. It's harder to see further on in the trail. You can travel throughout the night. Night in the Ninth World is particularly dangerous because there's just weird stuff everywhere. People don't like to travel at night for whatever reason. So it's your choice. You can kind of go through the night, or you can rest.
Okay. Well, everybody gets 12 shin from splitting that up. Because then we all get 12. I say let's find a good camping place and we'll set up a rotation for standing watch.
Okay.
I'd also like to make a recovery roll.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. What kind of rotation do you guys want?
Tuck, what do you think?
Who wants to be first and last?
The
The nights are 10 hours. I'll let you have a full recovery roll. If you're gonna stay up for watch, so 10 divided by 4 would be the shifts.
So like an hour and a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe Tuck would take like
2.5 hours.
like a middle shift, like when the most dangerous.
Then I guess we'll do a rotation of like nearest, followed by Skylar, Tuck, then Shiro.
That's fine.
Yep.
Okay. Nearest Skylar, Tuck, Shiro. And you guys, I'm assuming you're gonna want to keep this for pretty much the campaign duration.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Well, this night pretty much passes as well without any issue. You kind of make your camp inside this wooded area, and nothing really happens at all. Shiro, what you notice is whenever
He's like, why me?
well, you're the last one. Whenever the sun starts to come up over the world, these glowing kind of red crystals start to come out of the ground that you're sleeping on, and from what you can tell, nothing interesting is really happening other than they're just coming out of the ground for whatever reason. So it's up to you if you want to kind of freak out and tell everyone, or if you want to let them sleep in or whatever.
I want to touch the crystals to see if they hurt me or anything like that.
Okay. Whenever you touch the crystal, how do you touch it?
I put my palm up against it. How big are these crystals?
Oh, they're about hand sized. They're various shapes and sizes all around the place. But as soon as oh, now you want to poke it? Okay. Well, when you poke it, nothing really happens.
Okay, then I'll grab one and put it in a bag.
Well, all right. Go ahead and make a roll for your might to see if you can grab one of these out of the ground. From what you can tell just by kind of jiggling a little bit, it's a pretty tough thing in there. This is gonna be a formidable task for you, a level 7 difficulty to be able to pull this thing out of the ground.
Can't like use my sword to like kind of like shovel it out.
Yeah, you can definitely try. I don't think that's gonna make the task any easier. You start shoveling the ground with your sword, and it seems like it's not something that it's so deep in the ground you're not really gonna be able to shovel it out.
Then I'll put some effort into it, and I'll try for it.
All right, so your goal here is gonna be an 18 or higher. So good luck. Well, you sit there on the thing and you're trying to pull it with all of your might, and it's not even budging. What you do notice though, whenever you put your hands on it, it makes kind of a ping sound.
Does anybody wake up because of that ping sound? If you have any kind of awareness or perception or...
That's up to y'all if y'all want to wake up. I'm gonna say it's not very loud. It's kind of just like a little ping. I don't know if it would really wake anyone up from a sleep.
Unless, it wouldn't wake me up.
Yeah, unless you're like a really light sleeper or something.
That ping sound makes me want it more.
It wouldn't wake me up either.
Okay.
But I don't know, maybe Skylar?
Mm-hmm.
Up to you.
Yeah, Skylar is a heavy sleeper.
Well, what do you want to do, Shiro? You want to keep at this thing, or think of different ways to pull it out of the ground?
There's no smaller ones.
Perhaps. Oh, well, you got the one you could kind of get the best hold on that you think you could have pulled out. You kind of pulled on a lot of them, and all of them seem to be pretty well into the ground.
I'll give up.
Okay. Well, a few hours pass now. The sun's up, and everyone kind of wakes up. There are now these red crystals all around you. They seem to have grown out of your bodies. Not out of your bodies, but around your bodies. You don't have red crystals coming out of you. But whenever you guys kind of get up and stand up, red crystals kind of replace wherever you're laying down.
So, Shiro, something happened last night?
Morning, everybody. There are these fancy crystals just came out of the ground. If you touch them, they make a ping sound. It's amazing.
When did this start?
At about sunrise.
I don't care. Let's just move on.
I'm with Tuck. I am totally with Tuck. Let's go.
I'm so curious.
Okay. Well, you start moving on. Then you start going. Oh,
I sadly move on as I look at them as we go.
Do you want to keep your same skills for survival for the next day?
Yeah, I want
Yes.
to try hunting again.
Okay. Awesome. Well, you start making your way, and along your journey, you're no longer you're not really on the path to Ishlav anymore. You've kind of branched off to where you assume will take you to the Gatharian crystal, and you come across finally about midday. You come across a little town that looks pretty nice and cozy. It's not really big. There's kind of these wooden, made of the same wood that you guys saw in the forest with the red crystals. Kind of a wooden wall that surrounds this area. You can see smoke billowing from the chimneys and people moving around inside.
Well,
What do
I
you guys
want
think? Shall we go
to
in?
go up to the town, yeah.
Okay.
I guess we can.
In we go.
All right. Well, when you go in the town, you don't really see any like guards or anything like that. There's not a lot of houses. There's maybe like 10 or 15 houses in this little area. You can hear the anvil of a blacksmith in the background somewhere, and it's quiet. It's a lot more quiet than you would expect. There's no one talking.
I would like to go in the direction of that blacksmith and try and get more arrows if he has them.
Okay.
I'd also like to assess for danger or any kind of thing that's going around us. Like, is there any kind of weird, skeevy, feel?
And
No.
I'd like to walk up to one of them and say, "Hi, how are you?"
Okay. Well, you don't really notice anything weird or out of the ordinary. Eve, Nearest doesn't. Whenever Tuck goes up to one of these people, they just kind of.
Well then,
Nice weather we're having here, or isn't it?
Oh, they don't talk. Okay.
So,
I
got your tongue there, friend?
I want to go to the blacksmith
Okay.
still.
All right. Well, when you get to the blacksmith, you see just a big burly guy with no shirt, but he's got like an apron or whatever people call him in front of him, and he's banging away at his anvil. And what's peculiar to you is that he's just banging on an anvil.
Without mallet
There's
or anything?
No, he has a hammer and an anvil, and he's just.
But
banging.
there's no sword or anything under it.
No.
Okay.
While Saul's doing this, I'd like to ask one of them if they can actually talk.
Whenever you ask someone if they can talk, they just kind of he points to kind of one of the houses near the center of town.
I want to tap the shoulder of the blacksmith.
Okay. The blacksmith stops pounding, and turns around and looks at you and says,
I take out one of my arrows and, with like a questioning face to see, like in a way to ask him if he has any more.
"Okay, I assume you've lost your voice as well."
Well, he is. Okay, he can understand, can he?
No, that's fine.
Do you have any more?
As soon as you kind of take out your arrow and you're like pointing at it, he kind of has a worried look on his face. He's like,
Okay. Do you have any more? Do you have any arrows?
as soon as you start talking, he's like, and he walks over inside his shop and he motions you forward. He does have arrows for the market price of whatever that would be if I bring you guys back over here.
It was, I think, 5 for 12 or something like that. I think.
Something like that.
Don't remember.
Arrows were these aren't everything, is it?
is it a heavy crossbow?
No.
Yeah, you look up the prices while and you can buy them, take off the shins, and that's how many arrows you have. When nearest is are you going towards that center house? No? Okay.
No, no, I just wanted to check and see what it is. It's 5 shins for 12.
I'd like to go find a tavern.
In the Silence Town village?
Yeah, why not?
Well, you kind of look around and you don't see anywhere that would be a tavern. You do see some people drinking some alcohol that you kind of sit next to, and they kind of shove you over a mug of whatever they're drinking, and it tastes wonderful, whatever it is.
I'd like to give them my thanks for the free alcohol
Okay.
and then just down it.
And thus Shiro lost his voice.
Right? Can I want to ask the blacksmith if he has any rations too. Because we're going to need more if we have all these horses things.
The blacksmith, he doesn't have any rations.
Can you tell me where I might get some?
Oh, he just has a...
All right, thank you. And I go back to join the rest of the guys.
All right.
As
Well,
Skylar arrives.
Well, while
I'm just
y'all,
gonna
while Skylar's kind of walking over there, three guys, three people kind of walk into town, from the area you came in through that kind of entrance. You guys haven't walked too far away, and they've got two Garthoks with them, kind of with bags and stuff on them, and they're just kind of talking to themselves. And as they walk into town, one of them says to the other, "Oh man, I always love visiting Tacit. It's such a nice, calm city, nice, calm village." And they're walking. They don't stop to talk to anyone. They're kind of waving at people as they walk by.
I'll hail one of them and say, well, this is my first time visiting Tacit. What's there to know about this place?
He just says, "Oh, I don't even know. I mean, I've been coming here for about 12 years, and they've never spoken a word."
That's a pretty quiet place.
Oh,
Where are you guys bound to?
That's why I like coming here. Oh, we're heading up to, where's my map at? We're on a journey up to Moulin. Iskabal's where we come from, and we're just visiting Glavis. Visiting Glavis for a little bit of excitement. But the alarm started going off a few days ago, and something bad must have been going on, so we just took off.
Well, that sounds terrible. We just passed by Glavis. We must have left probably a day before that, or a couple days, I guess. Traveling slow.
He says, "Well, you'd better be on the lookout. They're probably looking for someone out here."
Yeah, thanks for the warning, friend. How far away is where did they say they're going? Sorry.
They're going to Mulin in the Iskabal region, which is right. I don't know why I can't ping. It's in Iskabal. It's pretty much direct north of you, along the coast, the capital of Iskabal.
Oh, I see. Okay, okay. Mm-hmm. Would they be passing by Gethrin? Just from our knowledge of the map?
From what you know, no, they wouldn't. People tend to avoid it.
But if there's one path out of the village, would they be following the same path as we would be following?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Can I shift?
Is the rest of the group with us?
I can't.
Yeah,
I'm drinking with
okay.
the youths.
Other than Shiro. I glance over at Tuck and Skylar and it's like, should we travel with these guys if they're amenable to it?
I would like to go into that house that the one person said over there. So I'd like to actually kind of check this place out a little bit.
Okay.
Well, I turned back to our newfound traveler friends. I think, would you guys be okay if we visited you, if we came across your campsite later tonight or tomorrow?
He kind of looks you up and down and sizes you up, and he just says, I guess if you guys come across us, we'd be more than happy to have you. We don't really have any rations or anything to share, but I guess we could use more people at night in this world.
It's just for the company. Just for the company.
Yeah, sure. You can feel free to if you find us.
Oh, wonderful. We will. But only if we chance by you. Otherwise, have a great journey, friend.
Oh, you guys as well. And they all kind of wave and shake your hands and stuff, and they start walking out of town. They don't really stop to look at anything.
All right, I'll accompany Tuck to that house.
I whisper to nearest, so what's your angle here?
Well, they might provide us with some safety if we camp with them. Or they might divest themselves of, their mounts.
That's what I thought. And I just turn around and start walking towards whatever that house was that one of them pointed out to us.
Yeah, that'd be one of the houses.
Follow.
Okay, that'd be one of the houses in the middle. Skylar, you would have caught up to them by that point. Do you wanna go with them?
Sure.
I assume they would have filled you in with. They said that someone talks in this house, and Shiro, I guess, is off getting drunk somewhere. I've known whenever you guys get to a city, Shiro seems to always leave the group at some point.
You must try a drink from every town.
Yes, she knows exactly what's going on here.
Okay. Well, you guys get to this house. Do you want to knock on the door? Do you want to just go right in, or
what would be custom? I guess knocking would be custom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that goes ahead and knocks.
This isn't a Japanese RPG. People don't just walk into houses and stuff. But as soon as you knock, someone opens the door. It's a really old lady. She's really short and wrinkly. And she looks up at you and she says, "Hello."
Are you okay?
Hi.
Oh, yes, I'm fine, sweetie. How are you today?
Doing all right. Don't mind the phone.
She says, "How can I help all of you?"
Well,
And she kind of invites you all in. And I guess you all sit around like a table or something.
So why is everybody not talking?
She looks at you and she says, "Oh, that's a long story. Do you really want to hear it?"
We really don't have that much time. If we could kind of get the quick version here, so we've really got some business to do in Thamor. So good, just kind of thanks.
She just, as soon as you say that, she's just like, she looks offended, and she's like, "Well, if you don't want to hear my story, why did you even ask?"
don't mind him, ma'am. He's not very good with people.
He's a glaive. He's honor bound to complete his task. We have a few moments, kind lady.
Okay. She just glares at Tuck for a bit, and then she looks at Skylar and she's like, "Only because I like you, sweetheart." And she starts talking about how many years ago, she's kind of lost track, that someone brought some type of device into town and activated it, and as far as she knows, no one's been able to talk since that point. They kind of chased him out of town, and as far as she knows, he wasn't able to talk either. But the artifact was also sent with him.
So how come you can talk?
She just says, "As we get older, we start to get our voices back."
So that's good. That's great. So everybody will get their voices back, and everything will be great.
How long ago was this?
She says, "It's been so long, it's hard for me to remember. At least 10 or 15 years."
Are there any provisioners in town? We saw the blacksmith, although he didn't seem to be blacksmithing. But
He did sell me some really great arrows, though.
Are there provisioners where we can get some food, maybe?
She looks at you oddly and she just says, "Food, food," and she just says, "What is food?"
The stuff you put in your mouth, chew, tastes good usually.
She starts to smile as if remembering like a distant memory, and she's like, "Oh yes, we haven't had to eat since that distant time either."
That's pretty fortuitous.
So, what else changed since he came through?
From her descriptions, the town has never really grown. People do seem to grow up and die, but people that are born in this town share the same kind of thing, and because of that, no one really has ever stopped to live in this town because no one wants to hang out with a bunch of people that can't talk in this world. As I was saying that sounded a bit bad coming out of no one wants to hang out with a bunch of mutes. That's not my intention. But
So if somebody were, before it became like a long time thing, somebody moved into the town, they could still talk, or did they end up losing their voice and all that the longer they stayed?
She describes a few people that have kind of come and gone and no one's ever lost their voice.
Where did this man go with this artifact?
She says when they chased him out of town, this was before they built their walls, and they chased him out towards the west. And from what she can remember, there might have been an old ruin or something where this guy came from, but she doesn't have very good recollection of the area. No one's really left the area. People have, I guess, been kind of bored since they don't have to eat and they can't talk.
Well, I'm sorry this happened to you, but thank you for telling us this story.
She just
Very
nods.
interesting.
She just nods and says, "Thank you for listening." And as soon as she says that, she kind of closes her eyes.
Asleep, close her eyes, or
She did.
I don't know.
To, like, hold a mirror
While they're
above
talking,
her.
yeah,
wait,
I
you
want to
Secret parts.
I want to look around her house, like just from where we're sitting. Do you see any obvious valuables of any kind that are lying around? Maybe some really nice trinkets, knickknacks.
You don't see anything.
Shins.
Everything seems to be made of wood. There's a few candles laying around, and nothing really of particular interest to you. What was Tuck doing?
Tuck is going
Tuck
to
and
put
Yaris
a
are talking.
mirror and hold it right in front of her mouth to see if it fogs up, to see if she's still breathing.
well, that's one way to do it.
She is not breathing.
Tuck makes like a really loud clap. Hey! there?
She doesn't respond at all.
I'm going to do a more thorough search of the environment, like her room,
now-
her
now-
gear.
now-
No,
Take her
no,
time.
no. Let's get out. No,
Take her
that's
time and do
No.
a bunch of thorough search. And
no.
She's gone. She won't need it.
Skylar, she's dead. She bequeathed all her goods to us if she has any. You need them more
We're
than
not
her.
even from this town. She could have a kid or a grandchild or something.
She spoke to you and thanked you. That means she is
That
giving
doesn't mean I
everything.
get her stuff.
Totally it does. While we're talking, I'm looking.
I want to try and drag them out of the house.
Not gonna happen.
Okay.
Is there anything good?
Hold on. Who are you trying to drag out?
Eve, because he's the one rummaging around the most.
Okay. Because
That's rummaging
I
as well.
imagine as soon as you start rummaging, that's when she's gonna grab you and try to drag you out. So let's go ahead and Soul, you'll make a might roll, and Eve, you'll make a speed defense roll.
Ooh,
I'll
PvP
go with
time.
it.
So, just a d20?
Yep,
When
you can.
Skylar grabs me, I'll go with her because I know Tuck's looking as well, so I don't care. We
As
go
soon as-
right out. Skylar,
Okay.
As soon as I push nearest out the door, close it, lock it, and then go after Tuck to grab him out the door.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so
Not right.
okay, so you're just you shoved You should have nearest out,
outside,
which
I yell at him to go find Shiro
okay,
before he drinks himself stupid again.
I'll
okay,
go look for Shiro.
and,
And now I'm gonna try and drag Tuck out.
okay, Tuck, do you let her drag you out?
Heck no.
Tuck,
No.
this
Bring
is a
it.
delay. No, this
Bring
is a
it,
delay
man.
getting us back to your.
Bring
back
it, Jack.
to-
You bring it, Jack.
Okay. Go ahead and roll might and speed accordingly. And if you want to apply effort, that will that'll add 3 points to your perspective roll to signify the jump in difficulties.
I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna roll.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna apply effort.
Okay. That'll come out of your might pool then.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know why I bothered rolling.
All right. Well, while you try to pull Tuck along, as you're holding onto him, pulling, it's kind of like a cartoon. He's just walking around with ease, and you're kind of dragging your feet while trying to pull him. Maybe dust is coming up at your heels, but it seems to have absolutely no effect on this vastly powerful glaive. And Tuck, let's go ahead and.
Can I do a major effect on her while she's trying to pull me? Because I got a 20.
If you want to do a major effect, go ahead. What do you want? He can't even.
I can't. I can't. Just the look on her face was just priceless.
I want to know what you were thinking. Come on, do it. You already started. You can't stop now. Do it.
Honestly, I didn't have anything in mind that I would do. I just wanted
Okay.
to see her face.
Okay. No major effect then. Tuck, go ahead and roll a 1d6 for me. Well, this is an old lady. Roll a 1d3. She wouldn't have like a boatload of ciphers around. Two? Okay. Roll 2d 150 for me. An 83 and a 135. All right. Let me bring up the 83 first, see what she has. Ciphers. An 83 is a speed boost.
You got your treat.
Yeah, there you
Finally
go.
got my boost. Yes.
Right, sorry, boost. Yeah.
It's all right. It's okay.
That will add 1 to your speed edge for 1 hour. And that is an adhesive patch that activates when slapped. I rolled a 135. So let me go to this book I purchased with more ciphers. Not the one you showed me, Eve. I don't think I got that. I don't think I got that one.
What I showed you was free.
Yeah, I didn't pick it up though. 35 plus 50 would be 85. Where's this thing at? 85 would be an Overwatch Slayer. Overwatch Slayer. That is a sphere on a tripod. Once activated, this device functions for 28 hours, so 1 day. If a creature with hostile intent comes within long range of this device, it immediately fires a blast of energy that inflicts damage equal to the cipher level, which will be a 1d6 plus 3. It continues to fire once per round for a number of rounds equivalent to the cipher level. Once it's done firing, the device is no longer active. And
What's the range on it?
It's a turret.
Mm-hmm.
Long range.
Yep, long range.
Do I need to roll a level or anything? Or you...
Yeah, you'll need to roll a 1d6 plus 3. Awesome, 6. So that'll do 6 damage, equivalent to the cipher level.
Okay.
That's a cool device.
I'm already carrying 2 ciphers, I think, or is it just 1? Yeah, I need to look at my equipment.
if you carry those out, we can pool our ciphers, because I am missing ciphers. I'm not at my max capacity.
I only have one.
So yeah, I'm only carrying one right now. I'll take the risk and carry both of these. So I'm going to carry 3 ciphers.
Okay. Awesome. While they're kind of looking around, Shiro, are you just sitting there drinking the whole time? I see you said you only drank 1 mug.
Yeah, after that, I just started talking with them, having a very one-sided conversation with them.
Okay.
Just about, just random things. Just pointing out.
And nearest, you said you were going to look for him. You definitely find him. The town's not that big. He's like around a corner somewhere.
All right, Shiro, it's about time to get going. Let's go back with to Tuck and Skylar.
Okie doke. I'll follow nearest.
Okay. So Tuck and Skylar, I imagine y'all are walking out of the house at this point.
I don't know. Is he still going around? I've given up trying to drag him out, so I'm just standing there watching, shaking my head.
I found my loot, so I'm walking back out of the house now.
He's gotten pretty much what he's gonna get. So you open the door, and as soon as you open it, the old lady, you guys come back and visit one day.
No problem. Take care. See you later.
Okay.
And I just keep walking back as I'm waving, just kind of walking back and turn around and leave.
Okay.
Not awkward at all. Just making sure it's not awkward.
Yeah, definitely. Poor soul. Okay, so
My journal entry is going to be very entertaining.
I grab our mount while I went and got Shiro, so we're all together.
Okay, awesome. You don't really ever have to like stable these things. They don't really move ever. They're when I say they're dumb, they are dumb as a bag of bricks. But at the same time, if you don't like tie it up somewhere, someone will probably come along and grab it or something. So what do y'all want to do? Y'all want to kind of take off now?
Yeah, let's hurry our way out of town and make some good time.
Tuck just walked off.
Tuck's gone.
He couldn't handle the ethical dilemma that just went through Tuck's head.
I think he was pretty fine with it.
I told you, I got my loot and I walked out.
Came back to life.
No
I
awkwardness.
suggest that we move quickly and see if we can go and camp with our newfound friends that we met earlier.
Okay. Awesome.
And as we travel and we're still alone, I look over to our companions like, they have some excess mounts that we could relieve them of if you guys are comfortable with doing so. It'll make our trip a lot easier.
How many of them were there?
There were 3 people and 2 Garthoks.
We could ride double on one.
Did they look like they were heavily armed?
They looked no, not at all. They looked pretty happy, just kind of casual travelers. I mean, everyone has weapons they're walking around with, but they didn't look like they had any more weapons than a usual traveler.
But you don't have to have weapons to be dangerous. We use ciphers and nano stuff all the time.
Mm-hmm.
If we are going to borrow their mounts and borrow their supplies, we would need to do it in the middle of the night when we take watch and they're all asleep.
I want to try hunting again, because we're gonna have 3 of these things, and we didn't find any food because that town didn't need food. So I would like to hunt. Yeah,
sure thing. Go ahead and roll for a 3. Whoever has survival. I assume both of you kept it. Oh, nice. Poor Shiro doesn't have any luck with dice in this game, it seems like. But Skylar, you managed to catch and slay one of these beasts, and you have.
I assume I lose an arrow in that.
Yeah, you. Oh, is that what you do? Do you go Katniss on this thing, or do you try to run up and stab it?
Katniss with a crossbow.
Okay. Yep. So you would lose 1 arrow. And you spend some time to prepare. Do you guys do? It's going to take you a little bit of time to prepare the rations and stuff like that. And I know that nearest goal is to kind of catch up to these other guys. So I can allow you to sit there and you can cut up the whole thing, or I can give you like just you I don't know, grab a day's worth of rations out of its gut or something.
No,
I'm
I'd
okay with
rather-
waiting.
Yeah.
Like if they want to butcher it properly, let's butcher it properly. I mean, if
Okay.
we run into them, Nearest isn't particularly worried about catching up to this group of three, because three is kind of tough, potentially.
Let me Google how long does it take to butcher a deer?
Depends how good you are.
We are skilled.
Yep. I once killed a management doe that was the size of a small horse. She took 3 to 4 hours. Okay, so 3 to 4 hours it takes to cut this deer up and package it. You just take some leaves or something in the surrounding areas and you kind of package this stuff up. And you now have, let's say, that counts for, these things are pretty big. Probably about, if you ration it correctly, about 10 days worth of rations in one of these things.
Those are huge rations.
Is the hide worth anything?
You don't know. You could probably take it and find out. If you
Let's
want,
do that.
The hide,
if you want to roll a skinning check on this thing, because skinning's pretty difficult to do. I'd say that's a level 3 difficulty, brought down 1 by your survival skills, so that you're rolling on a 2.
Probably a good thing I did.
All right. Well,
Well, I ruined the hide, and let's just move on.
Dice hate you.
yeah, they do. I'll allow Skylar to. She kind of stops you as you start to skin and says, hold on, Shiro," and she skins it appropriately, and you get the hide of this creature. I don't know. We'll make up a name for it. You slew the first one, Skylar. What is this creature called? This creature with its this creature with its green kind of fur. It's kind of oddly shaped horn coming out of its head, and it's kind of the size of a deer on 5 legs. This thing has 5 legs and no tail.
That poor thing. 5 legs. That's gotta be weird for running. I'll do. I like Tux Mufficorn.
A mufficorn. Okay. We can definitely call it.
Definitely.
These things are called mufficorns. So you guys are trying to hunt mufficorns.
All right. So we have 10 days worth of questions. Okay. I want to give.
These are uncooked as well. So if you don't tell me you cook them and you eat them, then you'll do like an equivalent of a fortitude save or something like that when you eat it.
Well, when we set up camp, I'll set about cooking
Smoke
them.
them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
And then-
So you just want to
Yeah.
kind of cook them all at once and then spread them out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'll give the guys 2 days worth each. I think 3. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I'll
it's...
I'll give the muffo. What is the horse that we have? I'll give our horse it's 2 rations as the leftover.
Okay, the Garthok. All right.
Yeah.
And the Garthok can eat raw meat just fine.
Okay.
Okay. Well, it is about. I'd say it's about 5 o'clock. It took you a few hours to get to Tacit. Took you. You spent probably an hour or 2 in the city, just kind of dilly dallying, talking to this lady. She told you this long story. You spent 4 hours hunting these mufficorns, and it's now around probably about 4 in the evening. And I assume Eve still wants Nearest to kind of catch up to this camp. So if you want to go ahead and roll a speed check, since you took a little bit of time to harvest, I'm going to go ahead and say this is pretty challenging. It'll be a 5 difficulty to catch up to these guys.
All of us?
Well, Nearest is really interested in doing this, so if he succeeds, then he's kind of goading y'all along, saying, walk faster, we gotta catch up. Oh, right on the money. So as you're walking, it's pretty dark at this point, but you see a fire kind of on the side of the road, burning brightly, and then you kind of see the 2 Garthoks as you walk up, and the 3 people. And at this point, I want to try to take a break every hour to kind of split up the videos for YouTube and stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and take a break for about, let's say, 5 minutes, and you guys can stand up and walk around and do what you need to